You know, I was looking at an article online and they were talking about the idea, why are Catholics so into suffering? Isn't Jesus about healing? And this person wrote off that many evangelicals have a hard time understanding why Catholics put so much value in suffering. Some of these good Christians think that faithful Christians should always be physically healed if they pray hard enough. I mean, does it seem like we spend too much time talking about suffering?
No, because honestly, there's plenty of suffering in life. And the idea that if you pray hard enough, you're going to be healed, that is an absolutely incorrect theology. Sometimes, if you pray hard enough, you will be healed if it's God's will. But the one thing we have to remember is God has 6 priorities in the healing of suffering. The first priority is not the healing of suffering. The first priority is to get you to heaven. That's the first thing. So God's not going to heal you if somehow that healing is going to interrupt your course to salvation. If the suffering is going to be good for your salvation, God's not going to heal you. Number 2, others' salvation. So God's second priority is not to heal the suffering. God's priority first is to make sure that your life is going to touch all kinds of lives, right? And so, if some suffering in your life is going to lead you to help others toward their salvation, then God is going to make sure that suffering will continue. I honestly believe that, for example, my blindness and my progressive blindness is actually helping me to help others toward their salvation. And I think God, is not going to interrupt this process. It's an extremely good process, extremely good way of using, my gifts in this life. I don't think He's going to stop that, because I think there are good things happening from it. There's a third thing that's going on too, and that concerns human freedom. God is not going to somehow blow up your freedom in order to alleviate suffering. So for all intents and purposes, we get into that whole thing of, why didn't God lobotomize Hitler? Look at how much suffering he caused. Why didn't he just strike him dead? Well, why didn't he strike Stalin dead? And why didn't he strike every tyrant dead? And now that we're thinking about it, why didn't he strike everyone dead who was about to do something that was devastatingly painful to somebody else? Oops, we're all struck dead. Where does God draw the line? And here's the point. Human freedom is an awesome gift of God. And we've been given this awesome gift of God, this human freedom. We have been given this, and God's not going to take it away. God's not going to lobotomize everyone who's going to do something wrong. God's not going to temporarily lobotomize you if you're about to do something wrong. God's going to leave us in a world where our freedom matters, because freedom is all about our self-definition and ultimately our choice to move into the kingdom of God, which is the most important decision that we're going to be making. For all intents and purposes, then, you can be sure that God is not going to wipe out people who may be causing suffering. He's not going to wipe you out if you're going to be causing suffering to somebody. For all intents and purposes, He's going to preserve freedom first. Number 4, God is going to make sure that other people's freedom are preserved. Covered that already. Finally, now we get to the point, if all the previous 4 conditions have been met, and of course, God, remember, is going to keep within the context of a modicum of natural causation. And you say, well, why would God want to preserve natural causation? Why doesn't He just give everybody a miracle? Because if God gave every single person a miracle and there was no natural causation out there of any kind at all, right? You couldn't predict. right? So, I mean, okay, I got sick, God help me, and now I'm healed, right? So I'm sick for 1 second, right? The point, of course, is if God's doing that all the time, then there's no challenges that we have to face. And believe me, we need challenges that we have to face. Otherwise, we're going to be relegated to a little pleasure bubble. If you want to have your freedom, if you want the good use of your freedom, if you want to test your mettle, if you want to see who you really are, if you're really willing to make a self-sacrifice for something noble and something good and for the church and for the kingdom of God and for faith, if you're really willing to sacrifice, right, to make a difference in compassion to somebody else's life, if you really want to become humble, you're gonna need some challenges. You can't get by without them. So God's not going to leave you in a pleasure bubble. God's going to challenge you so that you're going to say, courage or cowardice, what will I do? Right. Compassion or just let people suffer and stew and brew? I'm going to carry my own weight, you carry yours, right? Is it, challenge or is, you get the point.
Right,
We've got
exactly.
these choices before us that come in the midst of challenges. I mean, it's the challenge toward courage, the challenge toward compassion, the challenge toward faith, the challenge toward trust in God, the stuff that makes us deep instead of just superficial pleasure bubble little children, right? It's these challenges that are important.